Alliance after a miraculous turn of events at the Rush Pit, with Pudge landing a, well, legendary hook to pull the Lone Druid out, allowing Alliance a foothold back into the game and eventually winning game number 1. If you haven't watched that match, go catch the VOD. It was crazy. I'm Lysander, going to be joined here by Mike Loris, and we're going to be talking you guys through game number 2 of this best of 2, the last game of the EU qualifiers, actually, Mike. And you know what? There's actually an explanation for that hook.
I'm not going to try to justify that hook, man. Anyone can tell me, like, oh, well, mechanically the angles work like this, and then it expands at the last point. I don't care. It looked bullshit. It's bullshit in my book. The Lions are going to be okay with it. And you know what? That was a definite turning point, as you said. They played pretty well after that hook. They were struggling up till that point, and then they suddenly got it all together. So we'll see if they can keep riding that high into the second game. And 2-0 at Finem, which is not really an easy feat, though. At Finem, their IO get a Dark Seer, Slardar Rubik on the other end for Alliance. Luna still in, though.
Yeah, Luna seems to be a non-factor to these two teams, completely ignoring her throughout the draft and not bothering to use her at all. Maybe they have a gentleman's agreement, no Luna. Could definitely open up the meta to more things with more experimentation, but Alliance are banning out quite a fair bit of heroes. They know that the Lone Druid was a problem the last game and don't want to take their chances this time. So, gotta take that hero out.
A little bit of MNT's roster in that Bounty Hunter.
Hey.
Finem just trying to, eliminating the Ember Spirit is, I think, reasonable enough. Taking out the Weaver so that you don't have a ton of minus armor with that Slardar, but Alliance are going to slide right back into their comfort zone now with the Juggernaut and the Slardar pick. But Team Ad Finem, this is like classic Ad Finem right here. You get the Riki, you get the IO, you just roam around with MNT's Riki, and then you just start killing everyone. Plus you have Riki Darkseer, which is always silly. So yeah, they're going back to their roots on this one.
Yeah, pop shrats, but perfected and refined by them. Right now, Nyx Assassin going to join the fray here for Alliance. We are going to have a Jonathan fan Nyx Assassin, or is that? Wait,
most likely. Yeah, it should be a solo lane Nyx. Juggernaut Rubik, you want to team them up together. If you had a Slaughter still on top of that, you can get kills on most heroes. This crew of Finem heroes, maybe not, because they tend to be very, very slippery and hard to kill off. Surge, Invis, Tether, heals, whatnot, but Alliance do have a pretty offensive setup in lane at least, but Ad Finem get another one of their comfort heroes. Right? We could just keep going down the list. Madara Slark, definitely a thing. Played that one a hell of a lot back in the day, and still does, really. But Thug missing his hero, most likely missing that mid lane for Alliance as well.
Yeah, the Slark is a Madara specialty for sure. I've seen him play it a few times, and almost every time unstoppable. So even in that game where he was playing Lone Druid, he was doing pretty well till Alliance got a little bit too overwhelming for him to deal with. This is another support Slardar then, right?
It should be. You have a support Rubik already, so your crush is a lot easier to land when you have that first stun to set up for. If you even go in Nyx Assassin's lane, that's 3 stuns. It may not always stick up against the Slark, and even then you may or may not get the kill on someone like a Darkseer. If an IO teleports in or something like that, Smokescreen can definitely ruin your combo, but Alliance are looking to take tempo very early on, and that is very possible with their heroes as they work together, but they do have to handle MNT's Riki. Like, that is the hero that's going to be ruining any of those type of plays just by being in the right place at the right time. You can make sure that all your allies are going to be safe with Smokescreen.
I like Zeus, if they even play Zeus. I think Zeus will be really good here, actually. A lot of burst damage, you can lane decently well, and you can blow up Io, you can blow up Riki, you can even blow up Slark to some extent. I would say Zeus is nice. Do you agree? Yes? No?
Problem with Zeus is that it's very, very easy to get on top of him and kill him off. Like, everyone pretty much on Ad Finem can do it. I mean, Io not by himself, but you could relocate someone in on the Zeus, easy kill. You could smoke screen the Zeus. If you don't have a Force Staff or anything like that, you're screwed. If you're with a coil, you're screwed. And without any defensive support, it's really a difficult call there for Alliance to actually go for that type of hero. I don't know. There's just too many threats for Zeus. I think that's in general why Zeus is kind of having a tough time seeing plays that you may have all that damage, but if you're not in a perfect spot, you will get crushed in just milliseconds.
Ooh, old school or previous version. So, all right, this is definitely new. But if you look at it, Finem don't really have burst, right?
They really don't. They may be able to lock down the Alchemist early on. Again, the Riki is going to be a big part of that. And puck matchup versus the Alchemist is fairly even, so maybe they can apply a little bit of pressure towards the Alch. But Finem's draft is kind of ill-prepared to end the game before an Alchemist really gets going, unless somehow Madara or Thug or both of them start snowballing really hard. Then it's possible that they lock out the Alchemist completely from the game because they have the scouting of the Riki, they have the mobility from a Puck, Slark, and an Io. If they get ahead, it'll be very hard for the Alchemist to find farm, but getting ahead to begin with is almost entirely in the hands of the Riki.
Yeah, they have to play their early game really well, and almost got to be pristine at this point. They lose grip of this early game, and they almost guarantee lose. Loader's AFK, guys. Loader is AFK. Oh, what a great way to start the game. But yeah, Finem really got to put the screws onto this Alchemist. They have a Riki and Wisp. The balls could do some decent damage. You have Iron Shell as well for some shenanigans. It could work. Puck has a bit of burst in the early game. Might have to alter his build a little bit. Maybe even go for something along the Dagon variant to pick up this Alchemist. But Limp is 9k. He don't know what to do, right?
And there's definitely possibilities to kill off this Alchemist. They are kind of few and far between. That is the threat of an Alchemist, is that if you don't have the heroes to properly deal with him, you may just get Alchemist out of the game. And Naga Siren is another one of those heroes that can screw you out of a game where if you're unprepared, you're just gonna lose. So I am liking where Alliance's draft is somewhat in this game. It is still a problem of we have a lot of melee heroes, Rubik being the only range, and Finem have Puck, Darkseer combos, Smokescreen on top of that. Very easy ways to abuse this melee-heavy lineup, but Finem's damage is going to be a little bit tricky to actually execute properly on Alliance's draft. It's mostly in the hands of Madara, the vast majority of their damage, much like last game.
Yeah. Alright, so on the right, well done there by the Finem squad, but in the end, Riki takes to the Alchemist. What are all these kills? You see?
Madara found a solo kill?
You
what?
see? You see
okay,
what I mean?
Well, okay, so they killed off Skylark, dropping him low first, and I'm very surprised they didn't actually involve Loda in that kill. He was just happily last hitting away. I have no idea how Slark was able to kill off Jonas Span in the tower. He does have a level at lead now, and Slark's matchup versus Nick Sasson is naturally pretty good, insofar as Dark Pact will constantly cleanse you of those stuns from Spike Carapace, so you don't really have to worry about that as long as you time it correctly. So yeah, Madara just needed MNT out. MNT was just cramping Madara's style in this bottom lane, clearly.
Yeah, clearly. Alright, meanwhile they're going for Juggernaut again. Loda.
He decided to stick around for some reason. I'm not really that, but yeah, maybe also didn't expect the level 6 and the Nyx Assassin. That definitely could have been a possibility for the Puck. But sticking around for too long ends up kind of just suiciding himself over to Alliance. Not really what you want to be doing. Bottom lane, Loda. He's gonna fight with Madara doing a lot of damage, but he can't kill because of his ultimate.
Vacuum in, and now Loda goes into the Omni Slash. They shatter love, the one hit each, and Loda gets brought down. Madara pops his ulti, baits it out just in time, and Ansken, a very low level Slaughter, gonna face the wrath there of the Slark, and they're just feeding kills over to Finem at this point. Madara getting surged up again. The power of the early game Slark takes them all out, and now Madara leaps into the trees and goes into hiding. But still, more kills going away, and Alliance leading kills non-stop.
And Madara is, as we said, very, very comfortable on this hero, and Alliance kind of foolishly walking in one at a time. Like, as much spin as that does on Slark, the chances of you killing Slark as just a Juggernaut, close to 0. You're not going to Omni Slash because he's just going to Shadow Dance, and you will just waste your Omni Slash on the Slark. He will regenerate a lot, pretty much counterbalancing your spin damage, and then you're kind of screwed. So Alliance making a very foolhardy play on this Slark down towards bottom, and it's also a Slark with IO. Like, there's also that. He has Stain, and now there's even a relocate. Has farmed to victories many times in the past, and it seems like that will be what happens here if Finem are actually going to end up winning, is that they're just going to keep on going with this super pumped up Slark.
Yeah. Oh, Thug.
Speaking of that Slark, he's pushing Loda out of his own jungle, keeping tabs now on the Alchemists.
Relocate.
Stacks to farm.
Top. Okay, that's an odd little relocate into the Ancient stack. EGM gonna take that off and collapse there. So another nice kill there for Finem. The relocate a little bit odd appears onto the Ancient stack of the Alliance. Nearly took a lot of health away from him.
Barton's still able to return safely, which is a pretty big deal for these ganks. Like, if you relocate for a Rubik and then you die yourself, first of all, it's a level 6 IO in exchange for level 4 Rubik. Not worth it to begin with, but you gotta make sure that those relocate ganks are what accelerates you as a whole team, right? That's like one of the big assets that Finem have, that and the coil, and now the veil on the puck. You gotta make sure that you don't make trades with them. Trades at this point for Finem are not good. Trades are what Alliance want in order to keep Finem off their base. Jonas and Fan, he's looking at a IO right now. I think that's a kill if he lands that spike. He's waiting for some backup.
Yeah, he sees the backup of the Wisp as well, so he backs off. So Alliance are kind of under level at this point. Okay, wait. Pause comes out. Hopefully nothing too serious here. But Alchemist is actually barely topping the Slark in terms of net worth.
Slark being under-farmed compared to the Alchemist, it's like fine for Madara actually. Like, he has the overcharge eventually. He'll have smoke screen advantage. There'll be a lot of, like, teammate support, and the Alchemist will have that corrosive haze from the Slardar to help him out if it does come to that. But Slark can very easily kill off pretty much anyone, whereas the Alchemist will need a lot more of an advantage than we see right now if he's going to do something similar. But this is still a pretty good farm state for Finem to be in, Slark versus Alchemist wise. It's just, as a team in general, you want to be above the enemy cores in general. And Loda's actually slowed down quite a bit, and now behind Thug.
And Skylark getting stalked out here by the Nyx Assassin and waiting for support to arrive. Juggernaut is going to be there, but there is a sentry ward, so Skylark is going to be able to see that soon. Middle lane, what are they looking at? Nope, they're not going for that. Skylark, he's going to have to run away really fast. Jonas and Fan starts with a stun, he misses it! Oh, that's why you don't go for the hit. A stun there would have guaranteed Loda's Omni Slash, and that would have been a kill. Loda going for
relocated,
that Helm Rush again.
They relocated on the mid lane, just out of range of killing off Slaughter. They dropped the coil a little bit off timing there from Finem, so nobody dies except for this tower top.
Yeah, but this courier has to be careful. Alright, so top tower goes down. Finem pick up a blink on their puck, and they're going to start making more moves.
MNT sees... I think he's gonna see the smoke gank.
Yeah.
Looks like Alliance It looked like they were going to go for it, but they are going to get jumped on. There's a fresh Blink Dagger on Puck. Just needs 8 seconds left for a coil to recharge.
Oh, they're gonna just jump
or they'll kill Rubik
right now. And if Alliance are smart, they peel away right away. Yeah, no, they're gonna pop the Alchemist stun. They're gonna try and fight. They throw it onto Spartan. Tug goes in. Gets a 2-man coil. The Omni Slash goes out. It does minimal damage. Kills off only the IO. The IO buys back actually. And now Alliance, their natural tankiness, gonna start taking the effect. Loader out of mana, out of spins. He's going down. Madara pops his ultimate. He's Yaze. I can't die. Sings the song, and oh no, walking into the cloud. Limb stuns himself. Oh no, Madara gonna score another big kill. Now looking for the Hansken Slaughter. He tries to port out of there. Slug says, no sir, I am Slug. Ice Rock's chosen. And the relocate comes out, brings the IO and the puck back to the fountain to heal, and then we'll bring them back in time for another push at Finem. Really doing this early game thing well, Mike.
Darkseer had like 10 HP before that fight even started. I must have missed something. He must have been like jungling or got jumped by a Nyx, but he was not in that engagement. He just threw out a couple spells and then left. They did force out a buyback on Spartan, but man, was that worth it. Keeping Madara alive with that Echo Saber stacking up, even with only level 1 Essence Shift, quite a bit of stats. And, you know, once the Omni Slash and Blade Fury goes down from the Juggernaut, especially considering his build, his threat level kind of drops. And speaking of Juggernaut, he's going to die one more time here.
Yeah, smoke. Yeah, another nice kill there. And oh, the good stun! Chain stun! Limb stuns himself again at Finem! This is beautiful to watch. Madara's on a wicked sick, and Alliance... Oh, there's no magic hook to save them this time. They're gonna get chased down by the Madara Slug, and that is something scary that many PUP players can attest to. This tier 2 tower is about to fall. And at Finem are not stopping. The punches keep coming.
This is what Finem wants. They want to, as best they can, collapse the map in on Alliance, prevent Alchemists from very quickly split farming creep camps and lanes and, you know, bouncing around everywhere, getting farmed. Madara to be mega farmed. Check. Very much so, check. He's got Blink and Echo Saber. Almost Blink on his person. Echo Saber already done. He is incredibly fat. And they're really taking his fights while not losing all that much. Loda's lack of farm is certainly going to be hurting him here. Now the Dominator is all well and good, but at a certain point you're just leaning more and more on this Omni Slash, which is more and more difficult to have get killed with the mechanism. He's dead.
Damn, and the Ricky solo kills the slot. No, not solo kill. Okay, kills him with the puck. They relocate, they look for the Alchemist. Ricky's there to scout, offer the intelligence, and then I think Lim should really stop popping his stun. He's gonna kill himself. He's there to 9. That's his only way out. That's not gonna happen. Tug kills him off, and another successful gank for Finem, and they return back to Loda. Loda just wasted his spin. Well, that's what happens when you go raw boots. You just don't have that mobility. Madara gonna lash onto Loda. They back him in. There's so much control here. Hanskin will die for his carry, but no. Madara has a blink. He wants Loda. He shifts him to the side. 522 is the kill score. Hanskin actually getting out of there alive, but...
Oh, Spartan.
Oh, no.
That's the tower.
Still. Oh, there's the jump forward. Madara goes in. The amplified damage is applied on him, so he's kind of squishy. There's going to be a jump there. Ricky jumps forward, gets stunned there. A little bit of a stacking stun. The vacuum stolen by EGM is going to make some plays, but Ricky disappears in a puff of smoke. There's another steal. Going in. Slop just going for the damage. The trick of the trade stolen there by Rubik, but it's not going to be enough there. Slop continuously gets the kills. Jonas and Fan getting some revenge kills back in return, but overall, at Finem come out... Oh no, actually no. Alliance come out ahead with those kills because of how highly priced they are.
I think the fight recap is a little bit wrong.
Okay.
Because it's how long
they
that
missed some
actually
kills?
lasted. I'm like 90% sure Finem come out on top there, and the fight recap is just a little bit incorrect there. But this is some like serious caveman Dota from Finem. Madara is going in. He does not give an F. He knows that he has a lot of backup, and the backup itself is quite mobile, very survivable given
they go in again.
Fact that he has an IO. And look at Madara just going again for Handskin. That's another one. Thug steals it because Thug wants it, but and this Madara guy is not stoppable. Is there even anyone who can compete with Madara at this stage? They can't man-fight him, they can't Omni-Slash him. They just have to hope that he gets a little bit too aggressive and ends up kind of killing himself.
Yeah. That sounds pretty accurate, and I think this is one of the first few times I've seen a Slug skipping Shadow Blade for a while now. Usually Shadow Blade first, and then the Echo Saber, but Madara is so far ahead, he says, I'm gonna get the 2 strikes, and then I'm gonna get the blink. And so far it's been working out for him.
You also have Ricky on your team, so you know the enemy is already holding detection.
Yep. I think a Basher should be next for him. Yeah, definitely. Abyssal Blade will be the next item. Very natural progression there. Madara is losing his ulti now, so he is going to run. Spotted there by Jonathan Fan.
Once this Basher comes out... Oh, actually, they found Skylark.
Yeah,
or who found 2, actually. Jonathan Fan is kind of all alone here.
There's the dust. Immediately popping the ultimate, the Ricky. And the Omni Slash comes out. Chops down the Darkseers. 45 seconds on the sidelines is a big kill to get. And the Corrosive Haze keeps track of that Ricky, but I think they're running, respecting that Madara's Slug is on his way, and you don't want to mess with Madara's Slug.
When Slark arrives as Alliance, you just gotta run. Especially once this Basher comes up on Madara, that'll hurt probably Loda the most. And using his Blade Fury as almost like a desperation tool along with that Omni Slash, which is less than ideal, and Blade Fury doesn't really do a whole lot to help you escape when you're going to get bashed up. Yonasaban, looking at Thug, I do feel like it's probably a matter of time before Finem decide to pick up
another
a gem.
Relocate, and the Rubik. He tries to run away. EGM tries to escape the only way he knows possible. Jonathan Fan dodges that. Ooh, spikes that up. But he doesn't have enough tools to kill off that pop and the Dagon. So, yeah, they're actually attacking into Dagon to burst down those quote-unquote tanky heroes.
The definition of tankiness is definitely pretty generous here in this particular game. Like, Alchemist's start was pretty good. He has Armlet, but he's holding on to a lot of gold, which is really not what you want to be doing, because that 3400 is doing literally nothing for him. He needs this Radiance, yes, but he already has the recipe, kind of wasted his gold on the recipe, which is also doing literally nothing for him. And his teammates are kind of dying in the meantime. Like, everyone's being hunted down. Oh, they get a
Loda! No, gets back into the smoke. They might still kill him. Rubik saves his life. EGM saves a buddy.
And the only downside here for Finem is that Madara can't be everywhere at the same time. He was at that point kind of split up from Spartan, which otherwise would have let him be everywhere at the same time. But wherever he goes, there's just no chance for Alliance to take a fight. Nyx Assassin is still playing pretty well to scout out for kill opportunities, but MNT dusted him.
MNT has map hacks. He knows, and Thug will find him. Oh, Slaughter is there though. They Corrosive Haze him up, and now Loda is looking for a pick, but the coil will stop them in time. But here comes the reinforcement. Madara Slug coming in. You may spin, but we'll get your teammate. Jonathan Fan getting caught out. Can't do anything. Throws out a last mana burn before dying. And yeah, reinforcements arrive. They send the Slug back up top. So it looks like it's going to be another push. They're looking for Limp. They try to back in. Gonna miss there. Limp will thank his lucky stars. He has the Radiance money, but he can't reach out to get that relic.
And all the towers are down right now, all the shrines still alive right now for Alliance, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the case for the next couple of minutes. Bash already up on Madara, and it looks like he has his eyes set on Roche. Now this is somewhat of a chance here for Alliance to at least get a little bit of farm, complete up this Radiance for the Alchemist. That missed chance is going to be pretty huge versus the Slark, because Finem do not Roche quickly at all. Like, Madara can't steal stats from Roche with Essence Shift, so he's just kind of stuck with his base kit right there. A lot of time for Alliance to get things done here, but you know that their enemies are most likely Roshing. You know that most likely if you try to fight them, you will get killed. So you are going to be bottled up in your base right after this.
Madara does have the lifesteal talent, so he gets the 10% lifesteal built in, so he can kind of tank out Roshan a little bit.
Alliance are moving out under vision.
Oh, maybe
Found
next
MNT.
time once again going to scout, but who found who? Lim gonna get the. He's gonna get his stun again. He's gonna stun himself. He gets bashed. He's gonna stun himself. He dies. And Madara's beyond godlike.
Ooh, very cautious play there from Madara using his Shadow Dance.
Yeah.
It's not really a necessity in these engagements, but he does kind of throw it away for a minute. Just maybe a minute opening for Alliance to get an Omni Slash to connect. Maybe. Yeah, that is if Loda can even touch Madara, and I don't know if anyone can touch Madara.
Yeah. I
How
got
did they
that
kill him
reference.
twice? Like, is that even possible?
Oh, he jumps in! He doesn't care!
Okay.
9-32. At Finem really striking Alliance back hard for that win. Oh, this
is Ad Finem in a nutshell, right? Like, this is what we saw in the major.
Looks stupid on paper,
style.
but works.
These types of heroes, the MNT Ricky is a timeless classic. Madara Slark, Spartan Io. Like, these are just like what Ad Finem do in their comfort zone and pretty much rolling 100% with it against an Alchemist who doesn't really have the capacity of fighting back until like 40-50 minutes in the game.
Oh. Nyx Assassin support didn't help as well, but Hanskin Slaughter support really hard for him to play, and well, EGM might steal the ore, but Madara is there to collect him, shivs him twice, Loda on the run, and yeah, this game pretty much a formality at this point. The vacuum! Oh boy, the Dagon as well. Loda just falls flat on his face. Well, at least they got game 1. Lim gonna stand in this fountain. Loda buys back, says, I want back in. Alright. Got the Slaughter in with no blink, so it's gonna be walking crushes. All round, we'll see if they can get a kill. I think at this point that will be generous.
I gotta hand it to Alliance. They're showing some real heart here, but
yeah, it's just sportsmanship.
Can they kill Madara one time?
Oh, one time. Yeah, Aegis about to get there. He's jumping in. Does he allow them to proc? He doesn't. The 10% lifesteal. Loda, man fight. Alright, everyone, leave him alone. No 1v1 allowed. They Dagon Loda twice and they drop out of the game. Nyx Assassin tries to kill that Ricky. Is not going to be possible as Madara will strike another one. The shiv is there and the shrine saves the Nyx from dying. But 10-40. Yikes.
That's some caveman Dota right there.
Yeah.
Shout out
Bludgeon.
to MVP for this play style of Ad Finem. Yeah, I mean, Alliance looked like they were holding their own kind of alright in the early stages. But then, like, yeah, it was mostly because MNT wasn't dominating, like, all the lanes. Like, he wasn't getting any courier snipes. He wasn't ganking the Alchemist a lot. But they were just waiting for Madara to get to his final form. That's pretty much it. And I don't want to take anything else away from anyone else from Ad Finem. Like, Skylark's walls were on point. Thug was... Maybe the coils weren't, like, on the most people, but they got kills every single time. This is good enough. Like, Ad Finem were on fire this game.
Yeah, really well done here. And, I mean, even in game number 1, they were the better team early game. It was just unfortunate that the